Now, I don't want to involve the sheriff.
Too late.
Into the weekend, temperatures will be a little bit chilly, but we're still going to have seasonal to slightly above average temperatures tomorrow with plenty of sunshine. Your full details are coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lily Simmons. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, our air quality is certainly better than yesterday, but health experts are still issuing advisories. We'll tell you what you need to know before heading outside. And it was a busy day in downtown Escanaba with the annual farmers market season kicking off and the return of a lunchtime summer concert series. Plus, the Keweenaw is expecting an increase in summer tourism, partially due to some digital tools drawing new eyes to the area. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
First look at your above average temperatures for today and into tonight. It will still be fairly comfortable into the upper 40s and the mid 50s for some of us, 54 for Marquette with clear skies and some clouds for Escanaba around 48 degrees. But as we head into tomorrow, we're still expecting those fairly seasonal conditions. But as we get down to the southern parts of the Upper Peninsula, we'll be close to 80 degrees. I'll have your full details on all of that and your weekend coming up in just a few.
The Canadian wildfires continue to affect everyone in Upper Michigan, making the air slightly uncomfortable one day and hazardous the next. WZMQ 19's John Truitt has more.
Even with clearer skies than yesterday and with Canadian wildfires still raging, an air quality alert will again be in place across Upper Michigan tonight.
When we have these types of wildfire alerts, it just means that people should be cautious about activities they conduct outside, especially if they're parts of a vulnerable population. Individuals that are 18 and under, 65 and older, anyone that has a pre-existing respiratory condition.
Health experts urge anyone in a high-risk age group or those with medical or respiratory conditions to stay indoors. And there are a lot of people in high-risk groups.
Individuals that are 18 and under, 65 and older, anyone that has a pre-existing respiratory condition or cardio condition, and pregnant women and generally laborers that work outside.
Tuesday saw an air quality index of 817. The scale only goes up to 500. Tuesday's air was considered very hazardous. For reference, today's AQI is 83, which is moderate. The alert will remain in effect until at least Thursday morning, at which time they will reassess the quality of the air. The air quality alerts are measured and then put out by Eagle and the U.S. EPA. The forecast does indicate that rain is likely on Wednesday, which may help to keep the smoke out of our area. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
In Michigan's capital, House Democrats are introducing new legislation aimed at curbing gun violence. The proposed bills target both untraceable firearms and irresponsible gun dealers. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more on what the bills would do and why supporters say they're so important.
Michigan.
To kick off the Silence Gun Violence Month of Action, gun reform advocates joined House lawmakers to introduce new bills and talk about why they feel more regulations on firearms are needed.
Safety is not a partisan issue. Accountability is not optional.
Legislation introduced this week would require all gun dealers in Michigan to maintain a state license, adding a layer of accountability beyond the federal level. Currently, federal inspections are rare, sometimes only happening once every 10 years. The proposed change would give state authorities the power to revoke licenses for violations like selling to traffickers or underage buyers.
If the shooters aren't allowed to purchase guns legally, where are the guns coming from?
Another bill creates an official ban on ghost guns, making it illegal to possess or assemble one in the state. It would require all firearms in the state of Michigan to be serialized and traceable.
No one needs an untraceable ghost gun. These weapons are designed to avoid detection, responsibility, and justice. These are tools for people who intend to do harm and get away with it.
Lawmakers and advocates alike say the goal is simple: prevent illegal guns from getting into the wrong hands and make Michigan communities safer for everyone. It's now up to Republican leadership in the House to schedule a hearing on the bills.
House Republicans should take the safety of Michiganders and make that a paramount issue. So it should go somewhere, and I'm going to do the best that I can to push it to make sure that it goes all the way across the finish line.
From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
In Washington, the House Republican mega bill they passed recently aims to move President Trump's agenda forward by cutting spending and taxes. But tucked away in that bill is a small provision that could have a major effect on our legal system. Some worry it could restrict the courts from enforcing injunctions unless the plaintiffs provide some sort of security. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
In a recent town hall meeting, House Republican Representative Mike Flood of Nebraska got pushback over a small provision in Republicans' mega bill that could have a huge impact on our courts. Some say this provision could restrict courts from enforcing contempt citations for violations of injunctions or temporary restraining orders unless the party bringing the suit provides a bond. The representative told the crowd he didn't know about the provision when he voted for the bill, and he does not approve it. Attorney Seth Kretzer explains ordinary litigants wouldn't be able to do this.
Well, when you're dealing with public interest organizations who are dealing, with, poor detainees, nobody has millions and millions of dollars here. If we're now doing an estimate of the amount of damage, the federal government can say, oh, well, you have to put up $100 million bond. And, that way they could probably legislatively short circuit the ability of anyone to actually get injunctive relief. If they just say, civil companies, big corporate defendants, are able to go to insurance companies and they, partialists across numerous different ones who come together just like underwriting a deal, and they are able to post a bond. But clearly nonprofits aren't going to have access to that.
Lawsuits have been filed against President Trump for his actions and executive orders. Several federal judges have issued injunctions essentially blocking the president's orders from being carried out. Some argue this provision could undermine the court system by allowing the Trump administration to disregard legal accountability.
So if they're really looking for a legislative fix to shut this down, that would probably be the easiest way to do it. Declare that a bond is necessary in every one of these cases, and none of these public interest groups can be able to post it.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
Meanwhile, congressional leaders are preparing to take up a new rescission package next week, one that would slash billions from international aid, education, and public broadcasting. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon tells us what's inside that package and what it means for global support from the U.S.
On Tuesday, congressional leaders formally received the Trump administration's proposed rescissions package, a plan to codify billions in spending cuts identified by the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The package targets major reductions, including funding for NPR and PBS, and would cut foreign aid and health programs abroad.
We're overspending by nearly $2 trillion a year. Our credit rating is getting hit, is suffering, and it's really an unstable situation. It has to be corrected.
If approved, the cuts would include $8.3 billion in foreign aid, including funds that support LGBTQ communities overseas, $142 million from UNICEF, and $1.1 billion in funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Many of the proposed cuts abroad and at home here in the U.S. are sparking concern among Democrats and humanitarian advocates. In a statement, Bobby Kogan with the Center for American Progress said the president's rescissions request amounts to an abdication of America's leadership that will weaken the United States on the world stage. He went on to say, quote, "The White House has framed this request as simply going after waste, but it has called to cut cost-effective assistance programs that amount to only a tiny fraction of the federal budget, targeting programs it simply doesn't like. They will result in more deadly diseases that reach American shores." Historically, rescissions packages rarely succeed. Congress has the power of the purse and typically rejects presidential efforts to withhold or roll back funds it already approved. But with a Republican trifecta in Washington, this time could be different. Congress is expected to begin formal consideration of the package next week. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Just this evening, President Trump signed a proclamation to ban travel from certain countries, citing national security risks. The ban takes effect at 12:01 a.m. on Monday. Administration officials told CBS News that it will target specific countries, but will allow for exceptions. Trump's proclamation fully restricts and limits the entry of nationals from 12 countries, including Yemen, Sudan, Libya, Iran, and the Republic of Congo, and Afghanistan. It partially restricts the entry of people from 7 countries, including Togo, Cuba, and Venezuela. Officials say the action is due to a high level of risk to the United States. Exceptions will include lawful permanent residents, adoptions, dual nationals traveling on a passport from an unrestricted country, and athletes, among others. The announcement of the ban follows the Sunday attack in Boulder, Colorado, on marchers raising awareness for Israelis taken hostage by Hamas. In Trump's first term, he signed a travel ban restricting entry by most residents of 7 countries. When we return, we're heading to Escanaba to see how the downtown kicked off its farmers market season, and we'll get a look at the first lunch on Ludington of the year. Plus, Gladstone pickleball enthusiasts have officially made their dreams a reality. We'll show you their completed courts and how they're celebrating up next.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
When migraine strikes, do you question the trade-offs of treating? Ubrelvy is another option. It works fast, and most have migraine pain relief within 2 hours. You can treat it anytime, anywhere. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Don't take if allergic or with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur hours to days after. Side effects include nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Ubrelvy.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Why should you consider re-siding your home? Your home is the largest investment you'll make. Protect it with new siding installed by the experts at the Window Store. We offer a range of affordable, high-quality siding options, including premium ABC seamless steel siding with attractive financing options available. And we install all winter long across the entire UP. Schedule your appointment today and enjoy the Window Store experience for yourself. Your clear choice is the Window Store.
Direct.
Don't you ever look up at the sky and roll your eyes. You hear me?
Yes.
Realistic.
I will maybe have a tendency to
spend too much and won't be able to pay your rent.
He holds the line.
I resent it, and I resent you for doing it.
Mathis Court is in session.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. Thanks for being here. We had some footage yesterday from our very own John Truitt, and now we have some new footage from our very own Ken Baynard. And this is drone footage of a slightly improvement in the sky. Still a slight haze here, but we are going to have those days where it's going to be worse than others, and we're still going to be dealing with the wildfire smoke over the next few days. We still have that air quality warning. So while some days may look better than others, like today, it wasn't too bad, but we still do have the air quality warning. And especially when we have clear skies, and depending on where those winds set up, it's going to be worse at times, denser at times, and we still have the air quality warning that's until Thursday at 3:15. We've just kind of been having new warnings issued, reissued, and extended, so we can't rule out it going into the weekend. Remember, these wildfires, tens of thousands of acres, probably more at this point, and they don't just fix itself overnight, and we're still going to see the effects of it. We can see it here on our future smoke. Now, a lot of the time this past week has been in that orange and that red area, even the yellow. So we are getting a little bit of that improvement for tomorrow. Still going to probably see a little bit of that haze, but I think it's going to slightly improve, and especially when we get some rain in the forecast, which we are expecting for Friday, that's just going to help things even more. But before we get there, for your Thursday, you're going to start off with lots of sunshine. We'll have increasing cloud cover. It's going to kind of get ready for the system that we're tracking on your Friday. So maybe a few little light drizzles popping up for Thursday evening, and And then for Friday morning, we are expecting widespread cloud cover and these scattered showers, just kind of that line that will scoot past the Upper Peninsula from west to east. Some moderate pockets of rain in there, and that's going to kind of kick off your weekend. So if you're doing any traveling, maybe get a head start and travel tomorrow. But if not, I think we're just looking at some general rain showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, something too severe here. But for tomorrow, we still, of course, do still have the air quality warning. But if you are going to be outside at all and you're going to be fishing, we do have a 2 out of 4 star day on your Blaze Bait and Tackle outlook. Low chance of rain. Again, that'll come for Friday. Winds from the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour with those best times listed there. And if you want to get out boating tomorrow, again, take it easy. Don't be outside for an extensive amount of time. We do have no advisories, no small craft advisories. We'll check back in tomorrow and see how things are doing, but wear that SPF no matter if the UV index is low, moderate, or high. You need the SPF at least 30 no matter what. And a look into your weekend, it's going to be a little chilly and a little rainy for your Friday. We will have clearing skies, improving conditions for Saturday into the upper 60s. And for your Sunday, yeah, maybe a few showers into the upper 60s, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. So we are on a bit of a roller coaster of temperatures here with these constantly shifting winds. So we'll have seasonal sunshine for your Thursday, a little bit chilly to round off the week here. And into the weekend, we know how this looks. And as we get into the second week of June, things will be a little chilled and a little rainy.
Escanaba summer events got off to a strong start this week. Today, the Escanaba Marketplace hosted the first of its 2025 Lunch on Ludington music series. Throughout the rest of the summer, 8 other musical guests have been scheduled to perform Rain or Shine under the pavilion. Lunch on Ludington is held every Wednesday from 11:30 to 1:30 with various food trucks stationed outside the venue. Since starting in 2019, the series has become very popular in the community.
I attend when I can. I enjoy it. They usually have a lunch wagon here, and it's always neat to see all the different acts that they have playing. Today we have Whiskey Ryan, and so it's cool to see different acts each time. I like music, and so I like attending it.
Next week's event will feature local group the Lark Brothers. Later in the afternoon, it was opening day for this year's Escanaba Farmers Market at the same venue. The market runs from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays and from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. Patrons can expect to see a variety of vendors each time around. The first day featured more than 20 vendors, and being early in the growing season, a majority of them sold homemade crafts and baked goods. Market manager Judy Schroeder expects more farm fresh products to be available later in the summer.
This being the UP, our veggies are always later and usually don't show up until about mid-July, and then our vendors double at that time.
Anyone interested in becoming a vendor is encouraged to contact the Escanaba Downtown Development Authority, and we'll have information on how to do so on our website. Over in Gladstone, a group of pickleball enthusiasts is celebrating a dream that's finally become a reality. In 2023, Gladstone Area Pickleball launched a crowdfunding effort to construct 8 dedicated pickleball courts at the John and Melissa Bessie Sports Park. The group held a soft opening after the Courts of Dreams were completed last fall, and now that all the pavilions and amenities are also finished, they've planned a grand opening and ribbon cutting on Thursday at 4 p.m. Members say they're excited to give athletes of all ages and skill levels a place to play this rapidly growing sport.
It's bringing people together all at once. When we were down in the smaller area in Gladstone, we had to split up in different groups to be able to fit everybody in. Now we see a lot more people, very social, and we hope this is bringing more of the community out for more exercise.
The group has organized playtimes for members Monday through Saturday mornings, and there is always one court available for public use. We'll have more on playtimes and how to join Gladstone Area Pickleball on our website. Heading over to Marquette, the city's beautification committee brought their green thumbs to the Beacon House this morning. Dozens of volunteers turned out to plant flowers, clean up the grounds, and plant herbs. The herb garden provides fresh basil, parsley, and many other herbs for use in the Beacon House kitchen. According to the CEO of the Beacon House, guests love to help maintain the herb garden and pick fresh herbs for their own meals.
Many times it's the very first time they've ever cooked with a fresh herb. Everything they've ever used has been dried and in a jar. So for them to be able to explore and to just feel free to take whatever they like and to do whatever they wish with it, it's so fun to see them get a little adventurous.
The Mariucci Family Beacon House provides out-of-towners facing medical issues along with their loved ones a place to stay during medical visits to Marquette. This morning, Innovate Marquette hosted its annual Women in Entrepreneurship event at NMU's Northern Center. This year's event featured a breakfast with a lecture and discussions. New this year, Innovate Marquette is also hosting quarterly coffee and conversation gatherings, and all are open to the public. Innovate Marquette says the events are designed to help women share resources and support one another.
A really big factor in hosting Women in Entrepreneurship for us is knowing that we can bring someone on stage to talk about what they've been through, because we know that entrepreneurship is not easy. It is a long road, and having someone be able to share what they've been through really does help other people and guide them through their own experiences.
Information about upcoming coffee and conversation events is available on our website. We're going to take a quick break now, and when we return, we're heading to the Keweenaw, where summer tourism is already underway. We've got details on digital tools and platforms contributing to that boost in just a moment.
For more than 30 years, our community has come through, building affordable homes, making critical repairs, and building ramps for those who need a little help and a little hope. Habitat for Humanity volunteers produce amazing results treasured forever. You could be our next hero. Volunteers are needed to provide affordable housing in Marquette County. Join in, sign up, it's easy. Go to UpersUnited.com or use the QR code shown here. A public service message of Habitat for Humanity and WZMQ TV 19.
Getting ready, we all have our routine. Finding an outfit, fixing your hair, and all the other little touches. Gum, check. Keys, check. Phone, check. But of all the things you remember to bring with you, naloxone could be the most important. It can reverse an opioid overdose. You can get it without a prescription in most states, and it's really easy to use. If you or someone you know is at risk for opioid overdose, naloxone could save their life. Keep it on you and at home. For more information about naloxone, visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Automakers never stop thinking about your safety. When they discover a safety defect, they issue a safety recall and cover the cost of repairs. It doesn't matter how old your vehicle is, or if you're not the original owner. All you need to do is bring it in. Do your part by checking for safety recalls at checktoprotect.org.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Lily Simmons.
A historic landmark in Calumet is celebrating an important milestone. May marked the 125th anniversary of the Calumet Theater. Later this month, the theater board will host a banquet to unveil a new chandelier that's been nearly 2 years in the making. The president of the board says the project honors the theater's history, as it had a chandelier when it was originally built, but it's also a symbol of how far they've come.
Well, there's only 3 of them. The chandelier represents the chandelier, but it also represents shedding light on other projects that we want to do to the theater or for the village. People are starting to come back and take ownership, and the chandelier is just a big shiny way to do that.
The chandelier banquet will take place on June 28th at 4:30 p.m. Admission is $60 and includes a social hour, dinner, dessert, and the unveiling. Right now, the Keweenaw is preparing for its summer tourism season. With June here, Keweenaw summer tourism is in full swing with new and returning events like Bridge Fest, Pasty Fest, and the new Johannes celebration. Visit Keweenaw's executive director says tourists are getting an early start, and he expects a good year. Tourism has a major impact on the community, so Visit Keweenaw is working hard to make sure it's a positive one.
Our community loves and recognizes the economic impact, but they also want to just make sure that there's a fair balance when it comes to its impacts on the community. And so at Visit Keweenaw, our goal is to be a good steward of both our community and the travel industry, and sort of making those connection points and easing out and smoothing out those rough spots as we see them.
We'll have a link to more information about upcoming events in the Keweenaw on our website. Another community gearing up for a busy summer is Manistee. The city has a full calendar of events, including the Wednesday Farmer and Artisan Market and the Music in Manistee concert series, also on Wednesdays, beginning June 18th. The annual Independence Day celebration is expected to draw a large crowd, as is Folk Fest, which is scheduled for July 11th and 12th. According to Schoolcraft Tourism and Commerce, the full weekend of live music and vendors brings as many as 9,000 people to South Cedar Street each year.
Our hotels are booked, campgrounds are booked during these events, restaurants are full, stores are being shopped. It makes a big impact attracting tourists to our community. And our residents also come out and support it, which is wonderful also.
You can find a full list of events on our website. In health news, just a serving of beans can help your heart, and a popular weight loss method has now been linked to depression. CBS's Michael George has the day's top health stories.
A low-calorie diet could help you lose weight, but new research suggests it could also increase your risk of depression. A study published in BMJ Nutrition found people who were overweight and on a calorie-restricted diet reported feeling more depressed than people trying other kinds of diets. The authors of the study say calorie-restricted diets could lead to nutritional deficiencies and stress, which could add to depression. Children born to mothers with obesity face a higher risk of infections. Research published in BMJ Medicine found infants were 41% more likely to be admitted to the hospital for an infection if their mothers were obese, and they were 53% more likely to be admitted between the ages of 5 and 15. Worldwide, it's expected 1 in 4 mothers will be classified as obese by 2030. And a cup of beans a day could boost your heart health and metabolism. People who ate more chickpeas had improved cholesterol levels, and people who ate more black beans had lower inflammation, according to a study being presented at the American Society for Nutrition meeting. This information could be especially beneficial for people with pre-diabetes. Those are some of the day's top health stories.
They say the eyes are the windows into the soul, but new research shows how our visual system can reveal the capabilities of our brains. CBS's Bradley Blackburn shows us how eye-popping illusions are unlocking secrets.
At the Museum of Illusions in New York, around every corner, it's a wonder for the eyes. There's a vase that's a face, art that moves with you, and a room that seems to go on forever.
You're just mesmerized. You don't know where to look or where to turn.
It's a fun house for our perception built for the TikTok age.
But these visual tricks are windows into how the mind works, and they're fascinating to scientists too.
The brain uses all the information it can get to figure out what's in front of it.
Dr. Martin Doherty with England's University of East Anglia has studied one particular puzzle for years called the Ebbinghaus illusion.
The 2 orange circles, which would you say is the larger?
The one with the smaller blue circles. The orange looks larger.
It looks larger, but of course, as you'd expect, they're actually the same size. The illusion works by using context to mess around with your perception.
He long thought that everyone saw it the same way, but in a new study, he and his colleagues found radiologists who have years of training to ignore visual distractions actually see the image differently and accurately.
According to the theory, that shouldn't happen, shouldn't be possible. And there's no previous research has shown that you can learn to see through them.
It's evidence of the deep abilities of a trained brain. But for most of us, illusions are proof of our limitations.
When you see these visuals, it's just like your brain just starts going crazy.
And a reminder, you can't always believe what you see.
Kelly has one final look at the weather right after this break.
Our child has autism. He doesn't usually elope, but one day he did, and it was the most terrifying moment of our lives.
If I didn't have a home security system, I would have realized way too late he's gone. He could have drowned or been hit by a car.
We couldn't imagine life without our son. We cannot emphasize enough the importance of having secure doors for our family.
Don't wait. Your child's safety is everything. Call 800-895-8120. Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order. With 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
This is a powerful place. In this chamber, decisions are made every day, decisions that impact your life, your friends, family, and neighbors. Your life can be changed by what happens here. I'm 19 News' Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy. I report to you, tracking votes, new laws, and policies that change lives in the Upper Peninsula. The only place to see what's happening in Lansing is right here.
Sophia Murphy reports, only on WZMQ 19 News.
Home for CBS is WZMQ 19.
Today, we bring you the profile of a hero, Marine Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes, but this hero is a musical Marine. Gomer Pyle.
Weeknights at 9:30 on MeTV 19.1. Sophia Murphy reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
Welcome back. Final check of your forecast here. We still are kind of dealing with the same thing. We are repeating it. Another air quality warning. Remember to close those windows tonight, as we're still the entire Upper Peninsula in this air quality warning until Thursday 3:15. We'll see if it gets extended, reissued. We could see it based on the future smoke outlook. Not going to be too bad tomorrow. And we will have the sunshine close to 80 degrees for most of us. For Marquette, we'll probably get to the mid to lower 70s, maybe a little optimistic, but we'll still get the sunshine. So as long as you're in the sunshine, it might feel a little bit warmer than it actually is. But we're going to start to see increasing cloud cover. Your next rainmaker comes Friday as you get your weekend started. It will be a little overcast, and we'll have clearing skies for Saturday. And we're going to be tracking a few showers and storms for Sunday. And we come back to the second week of June. We'll be back down to the 50s and slowly improving those temperatures by midweek back into the 70s.
Finally tonight, some tiny reptiles are safe and sound at a zoo in Oregon thanks to conservation efforts. The zoo and its team are caring for 17 endangered northwestern pond turtle hatchlings at its conservation lab, where they will remain safe from predators until they grow big enough to have a fighting chance in the wild. Each turtle is about the size of a walnut, and conservationists say they're trying to give them a head start as they are endangered reptiles. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6.
Tony's Green Thumb in Bark River is open for business. Tony's is your one-stop shop for all your garden and flower needs. Known for a huge variety of big, beautiful baskets, gorgeous planters, and over 600 varieties